Hello and welcome to Heidelberg Choral Society. Good evening, or if you're watching at a different time, good morning, good afternoon. Regardless of whatever time you're watching, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming along to Heidelberg Choral Society's totally new YouTube channel. Since we had to suspend our operations back in March, and doesn't that seem such a long time ago, we've continued to think about ways that we could still provide some way to engage our members in some sort of musical experience. Some initial moves unfortunately failed to develop, but we're now moving on with new plans, which I'll talk about in just a moment. As you know, it's still very unclear when we'll be able to meet again together. Despite the recent relaxation in rules about gathering, it does appear that choirs and orchestras are going to be among the last to resume their normal operations. The nature of our activity and the inevitable sharing of large air movements in a limited space will continue to be a challenge, particularly while there's no clear path to protection. We know that many people, including our own members, will continue to be very cautious about being in a confined space, so we'll need to move slowly. The use of Evans Hall will continue to be a challenge. The Vicar of St George's, Father John Sanderson, has been helpful and proactive in looking for ways that we might be able to resume activities next year. These include the possibility of spreading ourselves into the upper hall. We're very appreciative of their willingness to consider all these possibilities, and we'll certainly take them into account in our future planning. However, in the meantime, we've been looking at ways that we can use technology to start doing something as soon as possible. One issue which we identified early in these investigations was the lack of a piano which would be suitable for use in conjunction with some form of online streaming. But, as you will have read in our recent newsletter, this has been very happily resolved through the assistance of Bernie's Musicland in Ringwood. We received a very attractive offer, and following a decision by the committee, the Society is now the owner of a very smart and capable electronic piano. It was delivered to Peter early in November, and I know that over time it will prove to be a very useful addition to our resources. It has a wide range of piano, instrumental and organ stops, and powerful speakers which make it suitable for off-site concerts, as well as for rehearsals when we need a second instrument. So join me in offering many thanks to Bernie and his staff. Well, what do we have in mind? I'm sure this will evolve over time, and our initial thoughts are just a starting point. I know there will be continued development and refinement, and this will reflect the interests and responses of the choir, as well as what we learn. So your feedback will be vital to the success of this project. Our plans for what we might call Phase 1 are for a weekly session, on a Monday evening of course, when Peter will be able to engage us once again in a program of singing and making music together. We know that the limitations of technology still mean that it's not possible to enjoy shared audio, so we've decided to use a YouTube broadcast approach. This means that sessions will take place as live broadcasts, but the recordings will continue to be available for those who need to watch and participate at a later time. Choir members watching at the time of the broadcast will be able and encouraged to provide feedback to Peter and to engage socially with other members through the YouTube chat facility. As well as letting Peter know who is watching, we hope that this will help people to feel that they're in a shared space and part of a community singing together. A typical session will probably include some breathing and voice exercises and an introduction to the music for the evening. There'll be some teaching and learning of the music in parts and together, and each rehearsal will conclude with a performance as all parts join together. A list of possible music suitable for this type of session is being developed, and I know that Peter has a number of ideas which can be explored over time. In the longer term, we might look forward to the possibility of creating a performance from tracks recorded and submitted by choir members. This might be audio only, or possibly involve both audio and video tracks. The level of initial support will be critical to decisions about what we might be able to try, so we'll see how we go. You're already watching this on our YouTube channel. But if you need to find it again, just search on YouTube for HCS Australia. Also, please click on the subscribe button just below this image so that we're able to gauge the level of support. If you click the bell symbol as well, you'll receive a reminder each time a new program is scheduled. Then, when you join the broadcast, send a message to let others know that you're watching and share the fun and the music. We're all looking forward to seeing you online in the very near future.